It's September 27th today. I've been away for the past 5 days, so the food forest has essentially been neglected. You would think that it would suffer as a result, but actually production has increased. So now I want to go through, show you just how everything is doing. Let's go. Looking from the outside in, doesn't look like we skipped a beat. Really looks beautiful so far. I haven't even gone in here yet. The intro I did after this. So this is kind of like my first look at everything, but just peeking through, I see a lot of ripe tomatoes, a lot of ripe peppers and everything. Bunch of things to snack on. Look at these tomatoes just self-seeded and came right through the grapes. They just found their way, weaved through. And then I planted some tomatoes also along this front welded wire fence. You can see what I did here. Took that welded wire fence, just bent it. Grew stuff along the border. This way the chickens can't get in and scratch around the bases. It's worked beautifully. Got a lot of holy basil. Gonna be collecting a lot of holy basil seed. I really love that holy basil. And everything's just looking huge. Look at the size of this forest now, guys. True forest. A bird conservatory. But everything in here is edible. Everything's in here for a purpose. This is functional. I planted everything. My brother helped me with a lot of it, but we planted every single thing unless it was self-seeded, so this was all by design. And it's really come together beautifully. A lot of it was just planting more than we needed and letting nature sort a lot of things out. But just even on the outside here, we got a lot of production this year. Look at all these tomatoes just waiting to ripen up. I know there's a lot of ripe tomatoes on the inside, and this hazelnut tree is full of catkins, so many on it. We should get real nice production on it next year. Should be loaded. As I just come through one of the entrances. Here's one of the tomatoes just got so heavy it blew over. Sweet treats, but still got some good ripe ones on there. Not quitting, doesn't want to give up. And this tomato here, it almost looks like it's dying, but that's a cucumber that was growing up the tomato. But these ones were overripe. I wasn't able to come and harvest them, not being here. And some of the stuff I just put in for the fall is doing all right. Lettuces are getting a little bigger. And it looks like this kale over here is doing nice that I transplanted in. There's gonna be some nice kale. The lacinato, the dino kale, it's my favorite ones. So we planted a number of them just right in the middle of the food forest, where people probably would never plant stuff. Underneath a cherry tree, a Bing cherry that's going dormant. And then you've got the moonglow pear. We've got the kale underneath there. Bobcat tomato with a number of ripe tomatoes. Oh, look at these over here. Wow. Look at that color. This is the Rosa de Burns. Look at the color. It almost looks like a pink brandy wine, but wow, what a beautiful color. Healthy looking tomatoes. With all these ripe tomatoes and peppers I see, it looks like we're gonna have to do a harvest video soon. And the almond tree, the all-in-one almond, still growing well. Hopefully we'll see some flowers on that next year. Concord Grape, one of my favorites. Everything about it, I love hanging out underneath it. And it still has some grapes on it. They're so ultra sweet right now. Just a few stragglers, but still some more over here too. Good. And it's just peaceful to be in here. I haven't been here for a little while, so I really miss it. I'm happy the first time I got to come in here, I get to share it with you guys. It's like a breath of fresh air. That plum tree really did get huge. And it's immersive now. Even with some of the trees dropping their leaves, heading towards fall, it still feels immersive. It's a lot of fun. Still getting a ton of food, which you'll see as I continue to walk through and for the harvest videos coming up. Man, look at the size of this tomato. This thing's a monster. Wow. Beautiful. The soldaki. Still putting out some zucchinis. Don't see many on there. And I know I'm still getting a lot of green beans because these things never stop. A little overripe. Here's some more tomatoes. More tomatoes over here. The watermelon's still getting pretty big. This peach tree is so tall. So tall, I don't even know. 20 feet at least. And look how open the center is. I really have it wide open. I like that. And look at the asparagus growing right in there. Really cool. Look at these tomatoes. Beautiful. Oh man. And again, look where we're planting these tomatoes. Look where I planted it. This is right next to an apple tree. It's just in the middle of the forest. If you get sunlight, plant it. I'm getting good harvest out of these. And spaces people would never grow stuff. Pulling beautiful harvest of tomatoes, raspberries. I love the raspberries, you guys know that. Such treats. And we got the sweet treats tomato. We're doing treats all day. Look at these eggplants back here. The ding tong, so productive. I got a couple of them through at the food forest and stuff. You'll see them, but they're productive, huh? Beautiful. And this section back here has been really productive, and it's getting almost sloppy looking now, but the amount of tomatoes and cucumbers we've pulled from back here is, I mean, you guys can go back and watch the harvest videos. There's a lot. Look at this. Come on now. That's that like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 tomatoes right there. Save that for the harvest video, but geez. No fertilizer, no pesticides, no herbicides, no fungicides, nothing, just natural. As natural as you can do it. And man, these are loaded, these tomatoes back here. And the gojis are ripening. Gonna have a lot of goji soon. More flowers. Starting to go. Over here I put in some more fall stuff. Still a little slow to go, but it'll start to take off. Got some kale. I believe that's the scarlet kale. A few more of them. Just thrown in wherever I can get some space and some light. Try to get as much production as possible. In as little space as we can. As we get, we've been eating this kale a lot, and this is delicious. It's my favorite kind, but we want to keep getting more and more and make sure we're eating kale as late into the season as possible. That's got some eggplants. I should just give these plants to somebody. Maybe I will. That'd be cool. Then they can harvest their own eggplant. You can't get fresher than that. And wow, look at that. I miss those beautiful soldakis. Look like they're ripe, ready to go. Gonna be a huge tomato harvest coming up. Oh yeah, look how beautiful that is. Monsters. That one too. These hot days and cool nights have really helped with the ripening process. Look at that. This is gonna be one of our bigger tomato harvests of the year probably. In the fall we're getting it. That's a lot of that's gotta be attributed to the wood chips. Let's just look at the soil it's growing in. Why is that so productive right now? I mean, let's see. No work by me. The worms, the fungus, never watered. I haven't watered this plant one time since I put it in the ground. I transplanted it, I watered it in, never watered it once since. I've done no work for it. All I have was, I've pruned it and staked it and then harvested. That's it. No watering, no fertilizing. I don't got time for that. And look at this soil. Oh my gosh, this is how you build soil. And I've shown you my sand just 5 feet away over there. It's all sand. And this is what this was. But 5 years of good soil practices, that's what you could have. And that's what your tomatoes can be looking like with little to no work. And all these tomatoes under here are self-seeded. Going through and just grabbing little fruits from them is nice. And they're growing underneath that apple tree, getting that extra yield. And the late season annuals are coming through real strong. These peppers are just prolific. It's striking, the color, isn't it? The contrast, that bright orange against the dark green, no fertilizer, just natural. The wood chips, the mycorrhizal fungi, the worms, everything working together. And I haven't watered this like the other one. Never watered it. I watered it when I put it in, that's it. It still wants to put out more. And if you're in a really dry, arid place, the conditions aren't going to be the same, so you may have to water. But you dig down deep, you dig down in the soil, and if it's wet, you don't have to water. It's basically that simple. And you've got the Rosita Pink eggplant right here. And we've got the Fireball Red peppers. And the Clary Baby Cheese. I see a nice Black King right there. Eggplant, the classic. Really nice. The zinnias came through on their own. They're one of my favorites. And the birds love them. The bees love them. So, I love them as well, man. And look at this old donkey. What a good late season producer. For me, at least. And, man, this is one of my favorites. It's pretty disease resistant, pest resistant, because it's the potato leaf tomato. And a bunch of them are already ripe to eat, so we'll be snacking on those, using them for sandwiches. Probably one of our last big tomato harvests. This hazelnut's doing real well. And now's the time when the California poppy comes back as things cool off. There's always a new flower coming through. Always drawing in more beneficials, balancing the system, creating an ideal environment for all nature. And maybe we'll just come through, plant a little seed while I'm over here. Take some of these echinacea. Look at that, all echinacea seed. And we'll just sprinkle, just for fun. Like Masanobu says, play like a child. You gotta have fun, you gotta enjoy this, guys. You gotta have faith that it's gonna work. You gotta just look out at nature and realize everything is growing very well on its own. It's just the system that it's a part of. Mimic that system. That's what I'm doing here. You can have the same harvest, same yield. It's gonna look different, but it's the same concept. And you don't have to use wood chips. I think they're one of the best, but you can use any natural mulch. Some areas my wood chips need to be thicker, the weeds are coming through. But again, anyone can do this. This is meant to inspire, this is meant to encourage you. This isn't meant to show off or anything, because I didn't do anything. I'm not working super hard, laboring, putting any crazy soil compound mixes together or anything to get these kind of yields. I'm looking at it how nature does it. Nothing works hard in nature. Everything eats, everything's fed, and that's how I want to be. So that's the system I want to be a part of. It doesn't stop there though. I still have to show you the extended edge. There's the main fruit forest in the back there. This is the extended side, where we're getting huge harvests in just only the second year of this system. And strawberries are so good, ever-bearing ones. Really good. And this is the same system. Haven't watered any of this stuff. We've got the tay berries here and the boysenberries. They're all laying down. They'll come through, so we're gonna have a lot of berries. This is focused mainly on berries in here. Blueberries, blackcap raspberries, elderberries, tayberries, boysenberries. You know, a lot of the berries. And while we wait for all that stuff to come through, we're gonna be growing annuals like the peppers, Clary Baby Cheese, and these big monster. These look like the red ace, new ace peppers, and the pink tongue long eggplant. So many. I have to harvest that big one back there, but so productive. Another huge holy basil. And you can see how much I missed these tomatoes. These ones just rotted, over ripened, because I just wasn't here to harvest them. A lot of them over here. But here we've got the Stayman wine sap apple. Some beautiful looking apples on it. So we're gonna get a couple from that one. But it was just a tough year for apples. Even our apple tree from seed didn't do that great. I see a lot of you guys in the comments section saying that you want to grow a food forest of your own. And I want you to know, all it is just a few small investments over time. So first, you just got to get those wood chips, bring them in, and then plant a few trees today, a few tomorrow, a few next week. Let everything grow up slowly. This took 5 years, but you can see what it's come to now. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, share it with your friends. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. See you in the next one.